Yeah.
We've got 329. Yeah. I figure the phones have to be.
Yeah, so it's 3:30. Are we all ready? Everybody good? Okay, gonna call this meeting to order. Like the motion to approve the agenda. I have one little thing there. Number 24, just to kind of become part of 19, just the clerical duties and the time and all that stuff, meeting stuff. We'll put those together.
Do what?
The number 24 on the agenda, just the clerical duties of the board, just put that up with the times, agendas, and all of our meeting and stuff, just put it together, it's all kind of.
Oh, okay. And then,
All together.
on number 15, it should be resolution 2423.
Yeah, number 15,
Yeah.
number 24.
So with those things, I move that we approve the agenda.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, let's say pledge of allegiance. Oh, I think we're back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right. Next up is public comment available. New public comment.
There we go.
There you go.
Yes, Marty Mayer from Imogene, Iowa. I want to talk, of course, about the pipeline a little bit. Recently, the IUB set the hearing date for Summit Carbon. It's a October to January time period. Consequently, there'll be no construction in 2023. Now, it looks like the ordinances will have to be in place if they're going to be effective by July. Now, Summit Carbon is asking Montgomery County to hold off on their ordinance until the Shelby County ordinance has gone through the courts, which will be in 2024. Now, that's really interesting. They don't want them to pass their ordinance till after that lawsuit is settled and after the IUB has already given them permission to go ahead or whatever. So it's rather unique approach to stall things out, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, it's urgent to move forward on this now. You know, there's a big hue and cry, this is going to be the end of ethanol if we don't do this. It's going to be billions of dollars in damage to the farm economy and so on and so forth. But it's interesting that Sire, the ethanol plant in Council Bluffs, which is larger than the one in Shenandoah, is not participating. They have a source for their own ethanol or their own CO2. And Poet, which is the largest manufacturer of ethanol in the nation. I'll read a short little article here. It's the largest producer of ethanol in the nation. The Ethanol Producer magazine did a profile on a South Dakota plant recently signed to produce methanol, which will be used by ocean freight ships. They will build a manufacturing facility adjacent to ethanol facilities to produce this fuel. The company plans to co-locate manufacturing facilities at 10 plants across the Midwest. My point in saying this is a pipeline from here to North Dakota is not necessarily going to be the savior of ethanol. Innovation is the savior of ethanol. There's other things that can be done with it, as shown by Sire and by Poet, two of the largest. This isn't a necessity to quote unquote save ethanol. Another thought that I'd like to express. Greg probably has some experience, I guess, from his line of work in this. If you have a tractor hooked up to a farm implement, there are hydraulic lines that go back to the implement, and they roughly run about the same pressure as this CO2 pipeline. Well, they might be 8 foot long, maybe 6, maybe 10, who knows? But they're a 1/2 inch diameter. And when you get a break in one of those unexpectedly, it can cover your tractor in oil in a second. Now, that's a far cry from a 6-inch pipeline that has shutoffs 20 miles apart, 10 miles apart or 8 miles apart. You see the quantity of CO2, compressed CO2, that's going to escape in a flash before they can get anything shut off. It can be devastating. Additionally, as I've said before, the Iowa Code tasks the supervisors with the safety and betterment of the people in their county. You are the local people. You are the ones that have the most control over that. Even Jerry Hauser, the chairman of the Utilities Board, said as much in November to the Lynn County supervisors. So I urge you to move forward deliberately with earnest to get something in place to protect the residents, the citizens of your county. You represent them. Now, a question for you is, are you going to move forward on something like that? Obviously, it's not on your agenda today.
We've discussed here in the last few meetings that we've got several ordinances we're willing to look at and work on. This is one of them, I think. We're willing to look at.
Well, it takes time to do this. If it takes you 8 months to get this accomplished, why, it's a waste of your time. Because the dust is going to be settled by then. So I'd appreciate it if you could give that some serious attention. Thank you.
Understand.
Thanks, Maureen. Thank you.
Okay.
I didn't see this subject in the agenda, so I was just gonna throw this out quick and it's not really a quick thing, but
Let's say who you are, Justin.
Jesse Stimson, Page County, lives around Shamba, Iowa area. And this is regarding the jail and just in some of my discussions with Jacob and others. My understanding that the part of the jail that would be inspected in this is the jail part itself and not necessarily the rest of the infrastructure. Is that correct? Or who would be the one to answer that?
That's fine. I mean, what gets inspected by?
You know? Okay, got it. Thanks for, that's Robert's rules probably, right? So what I would wonder is, I know there's been a lot of research put in already by the Samuels Group as far as doing all the infrastructure. What I would wonder is, would it be better for the tax dollars and maybe cheaper possibly to have them just work on the jail side of it and the jail housing or the jailer's housing and not necessarily the entire infrastructure? And has that at all been even looked at as a possibility? And if not, could it be looked at in the future or in the near future as an option? I like the idea of everything being in one location. I think that makes a lot of sense. But if the state only inspects one part of that, would it make sense to spend all that, have Samuel's Group just focus on that part and then have potentially contractors come in to focus on the rest of the infrastructure? Obviously Samuel's Group is managing the whole project and they're finding contractors to work on the entire infrastructure. And so maybe they've already done that and I just need to get more clear understanding of that. But if we can save money by just having the inspected part be focused on by Samuel's Group and the other infrastructure be focused on by a contractor or two or three contractors to come in and do a bid on that, then maybe we ought to be looking at that as a possibility. So, thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, you want me to read this email that was asked of us to read in public comments because they couldn't make it to public comments?
I read one a few weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah. just because this person can't be here today. And I'm gonna read it, but I'm reading it from this person's. So, this is an email that all three of us received from Ryan Yurkowski. And, he basically wanted this read because he wasn't going to be able to be at public comment today. So I will just read what the email says. I watched last week's meeting via Zoom, and it was a disappointment to watch grown adults act like children. The new seated member, Ms. Clark, read a letter she wrote calling out Mr. Holmes on several different things. One being how disrespectful he is. The most disrespect I witnessed by watching last week's meeting was coming from behind a supervisor's desk. I have never witnessed so many eye rolls and snickers by watching one of these meetings before. I think in sitting behind that desk and table, one should remember your actions are being watched by others. I have been attending in person and via Zoom for the past 3 years. I didn't think the board could get any more disrespectful than the last sitting board, but last week that proved me wrong. I was in person at one meeting before Ms. Clark got appointed, and the meeting seemed to run very smooth. I think it is important for Mrs. Clark to remember, although she does have 30 years of experience, that she reminds us of the citizens of Page County voted in the other two sitting supervisors, one by a landslide against the corrupt incumbent. I think it is safe to say Page County citizens spoke loudly and wanted change. Some are sick of the corruption that was happening inside the courthouse, around the county, and not to mention the wasteful spending. Mrs. Clark was appointed by 3 citizens of the county and not elected. I think before calling out one's disrespect towards another, when one is upholding a county office, they need to check their own actions. This does not set a great example for the rest of the county working beneath you. I do not believe it is disrespectful to ask of one to do the job they were hired to or elected to do. I believe the new board was changing some things up and trying new things that many citizens had been asking for over the past 3 years, and these requests were not received well by the previous board. The new board is open to new ideas. It has only been a little over a month, and as adults, we should know it takes time to get change ironed out. So why don't we grace them with that time? They were open to new ideas and said their changes were not set in stone from the meeting I went to in person before the newest sitting member was appointed. I think Page County was striving for change. That is why the polls spoke loudly. I do think the votes the citizens portrayed in the last couple of elections will continue to pay off for the county, and the future of Page County will be in good hands for upcoming generations. Sincerely, Ryan Yurkowski.
Any other comments? Anyone else? JD, brief engineer update.
I'm JD King, Page County Engineer. It's a fine afternoon in Page County. The sun is showing all day. And there's no clouds in the way. I sent this engineer update out before noon today. The county crews were burning brush at various locations across the county. I did have a couple of trucks hauling rock on Main Street, well, west of Main Street in Braddyville, down past the cemetery. And we sent a blade down there to make sure the rock was right for a funeral today. If it continues to dry, we should have blades out working on the roads, but the forecast sounds like rain. But it is spring here in the county, in Iowa. I had a tandem in the shop with windshield wiper problems. hydraulic leak on the motor grader number 3 out of Essex. And various small repairs in at the shop. The skid steer quote would fall in this area, but it's on the agenda later. I'll come back to that. Our bridge work continues in the county, both at Essex and out on 280th. Yesterday on Monday about noon, we placed concrete in the west pier stem at Essex. That's coming along nicely. We have only but 2 caps on both piers. It will be out of the water. Should spring rains cause a rise. We also made plans, the J Road plans for base stabilization and seal coat were reviewed at the state level. We got red comments back, but we should be on track for letting in June for that project. Continue to work on the DOT budget program side. One thing not mentioned on the update is the raise grant for the Essex North Bridge that we're gonna submit. The grant will be turned in next Monday. And then we'll wait till June or July when they're allegedly gonna make an award announcement. But that's not something to hold your breath about. Historically, the FHWA has not been very timely in the release of those. I got a couple permits from IMO, and I will be attending the Hot Mix Asphalt Conference next week, but I'll cut that short and come back for a meeting on Friday. Any questions about the engineer's update?
I got one, the letting in June on J Road, on J55 down there, when will we, is that April, we decide if we're gonna, when will that be let, or when will we draw those plans? On
Those will be next, but given the length of project development, we're gonna end up doing J Road first.
yeah, that's, I just mean, how does that,
Well, we can start J Road plans, J55 plans, anytime that we're done with the J Road plans.
okay, just start working on those next, they'll go there, then come south. When do we talk about finalizing that, in April, or when is that?
Right, that could be in March or
March,
April.
okay. Other questions for JD?
I see the,
Those, I guess on that table on Hackberry H along 230th, that permit. Is it, where were they gonna bury that?
this is IMO,
Yeah,
this is, our
local,
local telecommunications provider. They're planning to put it in the south shoulder and then go across the road to feed people on the north side by Bourne, I think. And then the other one is west of Coyne on J52, east of the River Bridge. D Avenue goes south there, then it turns to dirt. There's a residence on the south end of the rocked portion of D Avenue south of J52. That's the other utility permit from IMO also.
okay. Okay.
Then we'll move to the skid steer quotes and discussion. Jamie is handing out. We handed out all 3 of the bids. So we received 3 bids shown here: Caterpillar, Kikuchi, and John Deere. Yeah, it was high. John Deere was Next, and Takeuchi was low bid. You can see the warranties are 2,000 hours, 2 years. They're all three brands have 2,000 hours worth of warranty. The John Deere is 5 years, but we'll run into 2,000 hours before 5 years.
How long will it take to get 2,000 hours roughly? 2, 3 years. How much you,
But we have three skid loaders now. We have 2 track skid loaders and 1 wheel. And they run most days. We work them hard. We work them in ditches, mowing. We have a shear, we have a grinder. They have a forestry head that mulches tree stumps. Have grapples that we pile and repile brush. During the wintertime, they use the grade pipes. In the summer, we work them hard. I have Jamie Campbell here today from the shop to help me articulate why we would prefer a Caterpillar machine despite its cost. Jamie?
Jamie Campbell, Page County Shop Superintendent. As JD said, we're recommending the Caterpillar for several reasons, or our opinions anyway. Our mowers that JD talked about have been matched, which all three are supposed to be the same, but we know and are matched to the Caterpillar specs as far as pressure and flow. The one issue that we have not been able to settle is, are the hydraulic couplers all the same? Or are we going to run into the problems that we have with our different year machines now, having to put adapters and stuff, causing the failure of couplers? The serviceability, we won't have to keep any more, another set of filters, spare parts, everything else on the shelf. And the commonality of the parts of the cat are interchangeable between, some of them are interchangeable between all three of our machines, so we don't have to have a whole bunch of parts on hand. Parts and service, the availability on that. Caterpillar, I can call up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and 99% of the time I can have the part in the drop shed the next morning. As far as service goes, if I call, usually that day, if not the next day. John Deere, I would assume, would be close to the serviceability on that. The Takeuchi, the salesman, told us that if we have an issue, he will come down and get the machine, take it back to Des Moines, get it in the shop, and bring it back the next day. So you're talking minimum 3 days downtime with the Takeuchi because of the travel back and forth. They don't have a service tech in the area. The Vision Link is Caterpillar's, what you would call telecomatics or whatever, that monitor the machines. It tells us when the machine needs to be serviced. If it throws an error code, the error code pops up. Caterpillar has access to that. If I have to call a technician down, I call Atlantic, tell them this machine threw a code. They can look at the code, figure out what they might need, and have the parts with them when they come, rather than have to come down and look at it and go. Now, that doesn't mean that they always have the right stuff on hand, because it's something different. But that's a plus on that. I do know that John Deere has their John Deere Link. I'm not sure what all it does. And the Takeuchi, as far as I know, they don't have any of that. The last thing is our familiarity with the Caterpillar skid steers. We can pretty much been around them long enough now. We know that something's acting up. We kind of know what to look for, where to go, and how to approach the repair on that, if it's something we can do, or if we need to have them come down and look at it.
yeah, what the numbers are, we put the numbers out loud. It's $81,915 for the Caterpillar. The John Deere's with trade difference with the difference of our trade.
That's without trade.
That's with the trade.
These are all the final.
This is
Oh,
final out
that's the final
out
one?
the pocket numbers.
Cause I was thinking of just.
The John Deere is $64,829 and the Takahuchi is $56,353, and you guys broke it down real nice. The Cat is 25,500 more than the Takahuchi and 17,000 more than the John Deere. Broke it down nice, just look at it, so. Well. It's a lot of dollars. I would say, I mean, John Deere's local and pays tax here. Agrivision does, which is a plus to them. They're the closest dealer we've got on the page here by far. And,
Where's the closest cat dealer? Atlantic.
But they have a service tech that is actually one in Red Oak and one just south of town.
The only thing I think is there's a lot to be said for consistency and the same, you know, the same amount of, or, the same type of equipment. I think if you get, from a maintenance standpoint, you're carrying twice as many parts, different parts.
on the Deere and 2 blocks away with parts, so. I own a John Deere skid loader. I know I've run them all. I've run a Takahuchi, run a John Deere, I run a Cat, run a New Holland. I've run them all. And they're all universal. Skid loaders are pretty universal. Now, if you get some different hydraulic hookups, maybe, but if your Cat you have is pretty new, it should be the same hookup for high flow, depending on high flow stuff.
That's what they tell us, but
But at $17,000, even over a Deere, you can buy some fittings, so.
just on that comment, Jacob.
Yeah.
High flow fittings that we've been replacing on these machines are about $640 a piece, and it takes 4 per machine.
But when they order the machine, you tell them what you got, and they should order it right.
They come with what they provide on the high flow side, yes.
Okay, well, maybe look into that. Takahuchi's probably a bit cheaper, but they're clear, the closest dealer you have is what, in Des Moines or somewhere, or, you know, that's quite a ways away.
Does John Deere carry the parts here for this?
I don't know what they carry for parts duty. I know they probably will have some of the parts here.
There's also at the shop a Murphy drop box, isn't there, for John Deere construction parts,
Yeah, we haven't had the best luck with their drop box.
but there is a drop box there.
There, in fact, when their mechanic orders parts, it is the UPS man puts it inside the shop. He doesn't drop it in the box. I don't know what Agrivision down here has for parts. I can say that I do get some builders for our one motor grader and our loader and stuff down here. And a lot of times I have to wait till the next day because they don't have them in stock down here. They have to pull them from another store. I mean, that's about the only experience I've got as far as at the county with Agrivision here in town. Is waiting on filters.
Well, if this was my farm, I know what I'd buy. So I know, I mean, it's pretty simple. I understand you have a Cat skid loader. The skid loader is a pretty universal piece of equipment. I'd probably buy them myself. I'd probably buy the John Deere's local, $17,000 cheaper. A 333G is an amazing skid loader. I don't have that one. I have a 330G, but that's not, we're not talking about some Payless skid loader, some Walmart skid loader. That's a pretty nice skid
And
loader.
I haven't been at John Deere, so I can't tell you they don't have one. The other thing is the availability. The John Deere will be the middle of July before we could have one. They're just not out there. I talked to Kevin this morning. The Takahuchi will be into May. And the Caterpillar is sitting on the lot waiting for us to give them a call and make the decision whether we are or not gonna take it.
Nobody's buying them expensive Cats, are they? They're just sitting there. That's what it looks like to me. It's too much. Cat's good skid loader, but for me, that's too darn much money. Now, my uncle works in road construction in Kansas City, and they use all Takahuchi. I mean, they go to zillion of them. So there's nothing wrong with Takahuchi either. It's just, you know, it's a long ways away, but boy, it's a lot cheaper to boot, $25,000 less. Goes a long ways towards another skid loader. I don't know. What do you guys think? I can't see my way to a Caterpillar for a skid
Well,
loader.
I know the only thing I remember talking to some of the guys at the road, department, secondary roads, about how difficult it was when we're switching vendors. Basically, you know, we used to have a good, CAT program. And then we kind of got off, and I think we have one John Deere grader maybe or something, and you know, you can start getting different parts, and you're kind of housing a whole bunch of different things that don't go together, and it costs you, you know, 3 times as much maybe versus where you had universal parts or you could train, you know, more repetitively on the same type of equipment. That's,
I bet if Cat loses this bid, they come back with a better one next time. That's what I bet. They weren't challenged on bids, and I don't think that's very good. We've just went Cat. And I like Cat stuff, but their bid sure is lousy here, pretty lousy, extremely lousy.
Based off the Iowa government bid pricing.
Well, something's swirly, because it's not 5,000 different, not 5% different,
I'm
that's
gonna make a motion.
big time difference, so. I don't know, I mean, normally we're spending other people's money, we gotta be pretty careful and take a little bit normally, and we want to not shoot ourselves in the foot and have something that costs a lot more than maintenance, but
you said you have, what, 3 cats already?
We have 3 cat skid steers. We've got a 268B, 299C, which is the one we're trading in.
How long have we had those? What's the,
2009 and 2008.
the life expectancy pretty good on it? I mean, they still are running good and,
Yeah, the one we're trading still runs fine and everything. It's starting to show its age.
and then the John Deere equipment that we have, is that seem like it's going good? I know. When I talked to the landfill guys, I think they have one out there that's a John Deere.
We've had some issues with.
You say you liked it, I mean, what, if that's.
We've had some issues with our John Deere. We put a new engine in it. Yeah, a year or 2 ago. The dozer, we haven't really had much trouble with our loader. In fact, when we bought the loader, we demoed the Cat and a John Deere, and most of us prefer the John Deere for the loader purposes.
And this cat that we're trading in, how old is it?
It's the 2009, I believe, it's got.
Mhm.
it's okay to upgrade skid loader to 5,000 hours, I mean, they get used a lot. Hard use, 5,000, they're not driving down the road to check on stuff. No, well, we just gotta look at the money, how we spend the money, and don't go cheaper and shoot yourself in the foot, I get that. But, we'll look a lot more. So what do we need to do? You need a motion or something, or?
I need a sense of the board. Motion would be fine. We do have this dollars available in this budget year.
You have money available for
Transferred.
this? You said you have money available for this?
Yes.
Judy? Okay.
We did transfer money as the budget meeting, outlined, and I still have money in this year's budget for this capital machine. For the John Deere machine. For the top.
How much did you have budgeted? I didn't hear you.
Which I have for it.
How much did you have budgeted for a skid loader? Is it just in the general big number?
Right, it was in the 500,000, or it was in the 600,000, then I moved 300,000 to next year. But I have enough for this.
Well, I'd like to put the 17 or 25 towards the grader, towards how much graders went up myself.
So what you're saying, Jamie, is that you have supplies and things to fix a Caterpillar where you don't the other two.
We've got the filter on shelf for certain things, and they entertained a lot of, some of them entertained with their graders and stuff like that.
As far as oil filters go, you could go out this afternoon and buy enough oil filters for the next 5 years for that skid loader if you wanted and put them on a shelf. It's not a big, oil filter is not a reason to, is that correct? Am I saying something
Yeah,
wrong?
you can get it filtered. whatever
You can buy
want.
filters.
We've got those, we've got parts for the skid loaders, we've got couplers on stock to put on machines, we've got different things. I mean, it's hard to say without going back there exactly see what's exact, but yes, we do have parts and filters and everything on the shelf for the machines.
Well, it's a little more money for the deer, but it is, they do pay taxes right here in Page
I
County.
just got a text.
Yeah.
It says John Deere is having trouble with their hydraulics right now on their skid steers.
Well, I've got one at home I used this morning, so
So I don't know.
anyway, and I, you know,
Somebody's watching.
uh,
Mm.
And I don't know.
333 is pretty fancy skid loader. That top Hoochie's good, the Cat's good, they're all nice skid loaders. This isn't, none of this is Harbor Freight skid loaders. So this is,
There's no doubt you want the three to use the job.
they're very nice skid loaders, any one of them. We're just talking about a lot of dollars difference.
And I don't know, I'm not a master of skid loaders. Been in one my whole life probably, and that was a Cat, but, I'm just speaking from experience from my other job of, you know, if you get too many suppliers, it's kind of crazy on equipment and you never have the part you need because you didn't have room to have it on the shelf. And if you had all the same equipment, same vendor, it makes it a little bit more simple to deal with.
They're
But,
probably more
but that's,
receptive
I'm
to
not,
you, too.
I know it's expensive.
When I talked to
I'm-
like I said last week,
But
supervisor,
I'm not an expert by any means.
he did his own construction company and laid tile everywhere, and he said he had, I think it was Cat running away with them, so nobody would bid it. They just kept cat, and he run whatever, deer and whatever his business. And when he finally started getting sealed bids, things started changing. So I think I'll be real careful. A few thousand or a few percent, little difference is different. This is a pretty major difference. So it's good to have accountability and people doing bids on things. And we got, definitely the bid showed difference. Major difference. So. I mean, we probably spend tax dollars to pick the cheapest one. That's probably what we should do. That's probably the right thing to do. But if local and convenience would be dear, you can pay a little bit for that, but they are very low, they're right here. Caterpillar's an hour away, so they're not, they have a tech around here, but there's,
Well, our taxes, yeah, taxes.
yeah, I said there's a Cat Tech real close.
Yes.
There's also a Deer Tech, and there's Deer here too. There's two different options for Deer here, so. Anyway,
You feel like you get pretty good service with your Cat
Yes.
Tech? I mean, they're,
Excellent service out of that.
and then John Deere, you're iffy on the John Deere.
He's a good thing.
there's a good service, John Deere Service Tech here.
Yeah, the Murphy's just next spot in local. Decent service out of the local.
Okay.
I have no problem with Joe's.
Yeah, he does fine. And
Okay.
so we have two options
Yeah.
for warranty, and he could warranty this warranty whether he sold it or not, right? Murphy could, because he's warrantying mine, and I didn't buy it from him, so. Yeah, well, he's working on mine right now, and I didn't buy it from him. I bought it used, so. Anyway, so there you go. There's our options. So you need a consensus. So. I gave my consensus. I guess the compromise to stay local is the John Deere. That's what I think. You guys think, it's whatever you guys think.
I would probably compromise to that, but I'm thinking that I don't know, I just. Seems like if we make that. Switch, and maybe, I don't know, if you end up building your fleet with John Deere's in, I just hate to see us go. Back and forth and not have the same equipment across the board, but.
What do you think, Judy?
Yeah, Judy.
You're demoing a John Deere
Motor grader.
motor grader. Have the guys looked at it and driven it or?
We've demoed a John Deere motor grader in the past. The conditions aren't suitable right now to get this out.
Okay.
And,
So there's a possibility that we're gonna have a John Deere.
correct.
We've got to have more than one bid. It's just good stuff. We got to get multiple bids. That's what we got,
Right.
yeah. So there's a chance.
Yeah. I guess I could go with the
Go
Deere.
ahead for the Cat. That'd be my recommendation.
And I got nothing against Cat. I like Cat stuff too. They're a good company. So,
Is there any public comment on this?
well,
No,
we made that possible here. Hey, before we get our consensus here. Well, okay.
Yeah, we can have a discussion on that.
Yeah, we can discuss. What do you think, Jesse?
Well, I just wondered, can we negotiate between John Deere and Cat,
They gave their bid, they're done.
try to get them down at all? or not?
No, we don't chop this.
And that is good, because you want, when I deal with people, I want their best bid. Don't be playing games with me. So, yeah.
but you're saying it's the government rate, right? It's the government rate, so yeah,
On this.
yeah.
They must have had a more aggressive government deal with John Deere, apparently.
It's a better machine.
Huh?
The Cat's a better machine.
A better machine? Well,
I guess
it
if
has to
they're
be quite a
with their
bit.
hydraulic, then that
yeah.
might be something
Is that a
too.
reliable source?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, and we are gonna recoup some of this money and they're paying taxes right here on the
Yeah.
buildings and everything, so. I can go along with that, if that's the consensus.
I don't know that we have one yet.
Okay, what's the consensus?
I guess I would make a motion for the cat. And then if it dies, it dies. Whatever.
I second it for this.
I think what
second it for
Todd is-
discussion, But we've already had discussion, so.
So one thing I was looking at is, so what's the warranty look like? Are they both pretty much the same?
Pretty much they're 2 years engine powertrain.
They're all a cat.
Is it all zero?
Cat and John Deere are same.
Yeah, they're all pretty much.
Now, the Deere has, he put the 5 year on there, now if you get to 2,000 hours, now I have one, I'm not gonna get there that fast, that 5 years is pretty nice.
We'll get there.
But the
But if you're at
availability,
2 years and 6 months, you've lost out on the cap and 6 month warranty, if it takes you that long, so there is a benefit.
the availability is the
one
the
that
thing
I
too.
mentioned On the warranty and I don't know. You get a hose, which is not, if it is rubbed, Caterpillar will want it. So if it's rubbed against another hose,
I just had a cylinder put on my skid loader the other day, but it was warranty, and it was painless. Getting it fixed, it didn't cost me. I had a $200 deductible, this is a $0 deductible I got on here, so mine was it cost me $200. But it was painless, so. You are getting a little bit with 5 years there. If you don't have 2,000 hours in your machine. Benefit.
But you thought it would do that in 2 years,
2 to 3 years.
so the 5 year maybe wouldn't be an advantage,
It would
If
not.
it took 3 years, it'd be a 1 year advantage of 0 warranty,
right?
but you'd have a 1 year advantage. And $17,000.
We just need to decide.
Yeah.
I guess, is there a second to the motion?
I said I would second it for discussion.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
good with
got
seconding.
it, sorry.
So,
So can we vote?
you wanna vote on it?
Yeah.
Are we in any discussion? We all good? Not fun, is it?
No,
Yeah,
Nobody wants to take away the cat everybody wants, but,
yeah, nobody, I
yeah,
mean,
I know.
it's dollars, we're spending dollars here.
yeah, and that's. Part of it is looking at the financial piece of it, the other part is, you know, God, it'd be nice to have everything be the same, but. We also have to think about our budgets, so, well, you have a motion still for
We need to
the
vote for the cat.
cat,
Right,
So do you wanna roll call it, or do you wanna?
but did it die from
Just
lack of
second it.
second?
No, I
or did
seconded
he
it.
seconded
Oh,
it,
for
yeah,
discussion.
yeah.
No,
Yes,
No,
I'll just make a motion, we keep moving, I make a motion to do the John Deere
John Deere.
compromise there and local dealer
I'll
to buy the
second.
John Deere. Any more discussion on that? Okay. Wanna, we vote together, or vote at one time, how should we do that? Doesn't matter.
I did, I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I,
aye,
Opposed?
Get it done.
None? Okay.
Thank you.
so, yep,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Not fun buying skid loader.
okay, now we need to do the 3:30 hearing.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah. Are we too late? No,
On the public hearing.
no, we are late, aren't
Mhm, we should have switched to
we?
the
Should have, I didn't
engineer,
catch that.
should have switched the engineer, yeah.
I did not catch that. Okay. So I guess we better do it now. We'll be late for our 3:30 hearing. Public hearing for proposed, maximum proposed public property tax dollars. So,
I move we pass this
our
resolution
18,
for the property tax dollars. It's a requirement. I'm sorry, what? Oh, open the, I
Yeah, I'd like
I
to
thought you
open-
did. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, open the public, discussion here on our, by motion here, a motion to open the public
I'll
hearing.
make a motion that we open the public hearing.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
I,
Okay. Now we've opened up for public comment. You have that motion to do that? Have a motion to open up for public comment? Do I hear a motion to open up there? Shoot. I'm confused.
I think we've opened it up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, anybody have public comment? On our resolution 18, resolution for exceeding property tax dollars,
It's mandatory that we have to do this in order to do the budget, so.
right, to do our budget. Hearing none, then I guess we'll close the public hearing. Make you need a motion to close the public
I make,
hearing.
I move, we close the public hearing.
Judy, made a move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is closed. Now we hear a motion to pass resolution 18.
I move that we pass resolution 18, maximum property tax dollars resolution.
Second.
All, seconded, Judy made the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 18 passes.
I'm gonna sign it and then pass it on a little bit.
Okay. All right, now we need to, number 8. Set the public hearing date for March 14th, 2023. What day is that on? Is that a Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday.
We might, is that our Tuesday meeting?
Yes.
Let's see here. That's so many days. What is that? Has to be so many days, not more, not less. Right. Okay. We're gonna talk about our meeting days here in a little bit. Might just pass that for a minute until we get to the.
Has that already been sent to the paper, Melissa?
Oh, okay, then let's do that. That's fine. We send it out. Then let's,
Go by last Wednesday.
that's okay. All right, so let's do that. It's public, we can do it no matter what. So let's,
I move we set the public hearing date for the budget for March 14th at 9:30 a.m.
okay. Your second?
I'll second.
Okay, that's fine. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. March 14th at 9:30. All right, now we have another resolution. We're gonna vote to take action on signing.
Oh, you've got.
Go ahead and do, I haven't signed anything yet.
That's all right.
Okay. What am I at?
Okay, we've got the resolution,
Signing,
the
it's not-
resolution.
Yeah, workforce development, a resolution. We talked about this last week. We need to sign it, moving forward with, the dissolution of this. We're the second or last county to do this, I think, so. Need a motion to do that. The resolution 19, the dissolution of the WIOA. Workforce development.
I move that we pass resolution 19.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor? Okay, 19's done. Number 10, discuss action of this application by Teresa Hill, using the courthouse grounds for Spirits on the Square, December 3rd, 2023. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I'd make a motion or I guess, how do you want that worded? Make a motion that we,
Approve the
approve
application.
the application.
Yeah,
Submitted
That's what I was
by-
looking for.
for Spirit on the Square.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Now we're number 11. We've got to rescind resolution 7 to change the name of the newspaper. Resolution 20. We're gonna change the paper from Southwest Iowa Herald to,
To the south.
No,
from Clarinda Herald and the Valley News to Southwest Iowa Herald. So in resolution 20, do we have a motion for that?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we, switch the paper.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries. Now, we're gonna get our rescind resolution 11, which is all our regional board assignments. And repass that as we all got divided last week, the resolution 21. Getting us all placed on our boards. So do I hear a motion to do that, resolution 21?
I move that we approve resolution 21 with the board assignments to other committees.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, motion in a second. If there's any discussion, we already talked about it, I have an email today, maybe, we just have to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, right,
Right.
and Melissa will send that,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, and so
Right.
my official, I'm Swipco, right?
I'm Swipco. Do you wanna do Swipco?
I was Swipco. Maybe we're not even clear
Well,
on
we
it.
got that.
Well, we
So,
switched it because it
yeah.
was a day meeting
Okay,
and you.
I
maybe
told her I
didn't-
was gonna Zoom on Thursday for the
Okay.
meeting, but I mean,
It's okay.
We can
Well,
switch
she
it.
can zoom in.
is that all right?
If you wanna do
Is that all
Swipco,
right with you?
that's fine,
Okay.
okay,
What do we
so
need to, well, it's all written this way on a resolution.
we'll just change it,
Yeah, they can pass the resolution that way, probably, can't they?
yeah. And then Jacob is the alternate,
That's fine.
okay. Is that all right, Melissa?
She wrote
Okay.
it in there. So we changed the one to Swipco from Judy to Todd on our
Okay,
resolution 21, so we have it all clear, all good.
Okay.
So we had our discussions now, so we're good with this?
yep,
All right, then, sure, motion include that word. Should just say, to change
still
that.
fix it,
Yeah, okay.
okay.
All right, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Good. All right, number 13, tax abatements, resolution number 22. The city of Ethier, right? Angie Dow.
Just a standard 657-day process for the city of Essex. So they went through the management process. I take care of all of my stuff when they do that verified statement. So actually, this is just me kind of following up and making sure the final step is completed, which is the request for the abatement. And I do that so I don't send them delinquent notices and
Okay, you can do that, that makes sense. Let's do each resolution one at a time. So do I hear a motion for resolution 22 to pass that?
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 22.
I'll second it,
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
aye,
Aye. Okay, next thing. Go on, Andy.
yeah, it's the exact same thing, but from the city of College Springs, they also went through the 657-day process of abandonment.
Okay, makes sense.
I move that we approve resolution 23 on College Springs abatement,
Okay,
Second.
all right, discussion, hearing none, all those in favor?
aye,
All right, got that done, thank you, Andy. All right, here we go. Now we're to the 15,
Third hall.
Thurha, which is Southwest Iowa Regional Housing Authority.
And I did talk to Teresa and she said she would be more than happy to continue.
Okay. So we got that, so she's happy to serve in that role, on resolution 24. No, I hear a motion.
Support a motion, support motion 24.
I second it,
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
aye,
Aye. That's it.
okay.
Now we're to Lyle.
Mr. Chair, we have number 13.
Oh, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, yeah, get it going, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm Deputy Josh Afton with the Cape County Sheriff's Office. I'm one of the instructors for the reserves. Our reserve program, we have 2 new reserves that we hired and are going through the module now. They're pretty much done with all their training. They just did their firearm quals 2 weeks ago. And for them to be certified with the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy, they be brought to the board of supervisors. Just to get your blessing, I guess.
We've done that with every reserve, since I've been sheriff. I think previously being sheriff, we've done that. That way the board knows who they are, that they're going through all qualifications, and that way they can prove them under the county's insurance.
Yeah,
And the 2 new reserves we got going through the course right now is Richard Allen Pace and Brian O'Halloran. Richard Pace was a reserve deputy over in Taylor County for a while.
What was the second name?
Brian O'Halloran,
does he live in Bradleyville? I've
yes,
met him.
yep,
Wasn't he a police officer?
prior law enforcement officer in Colorado.
How you spell that last name?
It'll be OHALLORAN.
There's a possibility we can go to the age of that.
Irish.
LLO
R A, R A
RA.
N,
RAN.
We'll bring it to you out.
There should have been two that were printed off. I sent them. through the email.
I have mine.
Okay, yep. So what I just, those certifications is what they qualified in. And then the second page is the approval for them to carry the firearms.
Okay, I think that sounds good.
Good to go?
We all good?
Yeah, I make a motion that do we need to make a motion for that?
Do we have that on there? Okay, yeah.
Yes. it's
Yeah,
on
it
the
does. So
agenda.
go ahead.
Yep. So I'll make a motion that we approve the reserve officers.
Carry weapons.
carry
I'll
weapons.
second that.
All right, motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
I'll get back to work.
The next one right here. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready for?
Yeah, we're ready. Go ahead.
Number 16. Number 16, as you well know, when we were going through budgets, we put in the budget as tentatively for our body cameras. These are probably past the end of their lifestyle. And we do have bids that are current. You did say that you would like to see the ARPA money used on that. And so we kind of took that money out of the budget at that point for the ARPA money to be used. So there are the current bids for that. In other words, it's a little different than JD's are, where he has different units. Our in-car cameras are Panasonics. They're an Arbitrator HD is the model of the camera system in the cars. These also are Panasonics that sync with that. You can go with another one, but then you take a chance that it won't, what they call trigger or activate when either the body cam is turned on to activate the car camera or vice versa. And that's why we'd like to stay with the same with that. In our situation, just one incident without a body cam or an in-car camera could pay for the whole budget.
It's understandably different.
And you basically said it would be around 38,000 when we were talking about it at budget time, so it's pretty.
We thought, we had, I think the bid prior had been 34, but they said stuff has,
Right,
equipment has gone up, not
Right.
just stuff, but equipment had gone up. And they said put in around that 38,000.
So this would take the pressure off your budget, you have plenty of money.
The ARPA money, like you said, we
But
took
we're not
that out
saying-
of the budget and dropped it down because we put it in because you were talking, excuse me, about the boiler and some other things that,
Yeah,
so we put that in our budget and then you said to use the ARPA. We took that money, that 38,000 out of our budget.
I'm saying it helped your budget quite a bit. Yeah,
It
that
did.
shouldn't
It
make
did.
any difference there.
I move that we approve this bid of $38,653.56 from Keltec to upgrade the sheriff's equipment, and we pay it out of ARPA funds.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is,
September.
653.56.
I don't need to force it now.
just let her have one now.
Yeah. Good idea.
Okay,
Okay.
so any other discussion on that? I mean, this is different than a universal skid loader.
Pardon me,
This
Jason.
is different than a skid loader. You have, your camera has to turn on, I get it. Technology stuff.
I could see the pluses and minuses to both.
We just help pay for some of this. I say money skid loader.
This is, yeah, this is
This is good.
the same machinery that would mingle together. It'd be like buying a John Deere guidance system to put in a Caterpillar.
Right,
It might work, but
I know.
you're gonna run into software issues.
That makes sense. So we have all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, there we go.
Thank
Better
you.
done.
I will turn this over to Chief Deputy McCullough. He has been following this fence issue
Oh, yes.
in the village of Norwich.
I know that she didn't
I think that you're all aware of the issues we've had with the animals out again in Norwich today, again.
Oh, it is. I had a call the other day about it. I thought-
It's a daily occurrence, sometimes numerous times a day. Farmers in the area are starting to wonder what's gonna happen when these anywhere from, we're estimating, both Charles and I grew up on farm, but 400 to 500 pound and about 350 pound hogs get out in the field, how much damage they're gonna do to the neighbor's crops.
Right,
We also have goats. They get out, they on a regular basis, numerous times a day. And right now, they're just kind of grazing while the hogs are rooting in the field around there. They haven't crossed the highway, but can you imagine in your car going down the road at 55 miles an hour and hitting a 400 to 500 pound
Yeah.
hog that is not gonna move.
It's a lot.
Now, you probably talked about this last time, but I don't remember. Your trustees, is there any, I mean, there's a way to, through property taxes, make them build fence, but because this is,
It's an expensive thing that we're gonna.
I know. What I'm wondering is, I'm sure you already looked into the trustees in that township.
They've already.
They've done their thing.
They did, I'm sorry, so Jacob for a little, yes, so Alan was appointed to go look at that fence with them.
Yeah,
We went and looked at it, anybody that has hogs on pasture or had hogs or knows anything about them.
yeah.
When you start with pasture hogs, of course, they're already stronger than your confinement
tough.
hogs.
Yeah,
And they're gonna go right through most fences.
you're gonna build a good fence.
They're gonna take a woven wire fence and move it all over. Especially at the 400 to 500 pound weight. And then the goats, sometimes electricity helps if you continue to use the electricity to keep
Right.
the hog off the fence or the goat. Unfortunately, it's a numerous times a day occurrence that we have goats out. Today the hogs were in, but the goats were not. So I'll turn this over to Chief Deputy McCullough. He's been taking care of this.
Thank you. I'm Chief Deputy Charles McCullough, and I handed out a pamphlet to everybody on the board here. I handed the same pamphlet out about 9 months ago.
Right.
And we discussed, the hogs and the goats and stuff like that. It took me 9 months to get a single bid to replace that fence. As of right now, I have one bid to replace that fence. Nobody wants anything to do with this thing.
Is that just because liability? So if they build the fence, are they liable if something happens?
Yeah,
Maybe.
pretty much. Exactly. So the initial part of this is the same as last time. If you flip to the back, I believe 3 or 4 pages. It is the bid from J&J Fencing out of Red Oak, Iowa. And it tells exactly what their intentions are as far as labor, rental equipment, handling the livestock. I mean, somebody's got to keep tabs on it while they're building the fence and stuff like that. So their total amount for replacing the fence is $25,765. So I know that seems like a big number. Now, let's flip the page to the next one. And that is from Midland Surveying, because we're gonna build a fence, we better put it on the property line.
Right.
So, and that is another $2,100 to $2,300 that we're gonna have to take and do to make sure the fence is in the right spot. Now, this is not replacing the fence, the whole fence on the whole property. It's just replacing what is there. It's just replacing what is there.
And they're not, these people just,
They don't care. They just don't care.
so this will go on their taxes. Right?
There is a way
The
for this,
trustees have a way.
the trustees have a way of doing this.
Andy,
There is a way, but they're probably not gonna pay it.
they won't pay the taxes at all.
Then it's gonna go to tax sale and no one can buy it. And so the county doesn't know when to just sit on it. The only-
Well,
The only option you would have to get your money back would be to then go to even north and take deeds and then try to sell it. But other than that, you're just going to die. Because nobody's gonna buy it at tax sale, he's not gonna.
now the tax sale, if you buy it at tax, it's your property. He's trespassing then or not?
Tax sale, you only pay for that, if it would go to tax sale tomorrow, but then it's a year and 9 months before they can even start the process. Most of them don't start it for 3 years, they really don't want the company. Most investors, if they accidentally bought it, would walk away from it. Because in all reality, the $30,000 or $1 million.
Too much money.
What do you think? That land is like anymore.
How many acres is it total? What do they have there in there? You know, is it in here? This is very thorough. You did a really good job.
It is. The beacon is in there. .4 acres is what it says. And that's the whole thing. That's not just, because we're gonna replace just the fence that's there. Now, some of the goats and hogs have been shot by neighbors because of, them attacking other people. There is now a dog down there that is been deemed vicious from another town and they just moved it down there.
To where the
Can-
animals are.
Now, what is, now,
And it's been running free too.
Is there any way to take the animals
that's what I was just
away?
thinking. Is there a way to, now, we talked about this, I think. Now, we're not, people's cows get out, that happens. But this is habitual. This is not the same.
When I talked to you 9 months ago,
And he's
there
got-
were 72 separate incidences. 70, now hang on, that was 9 months ago. That was 72 incidences that long ago. To make it a habitual livestock trespass, you need 3.
Correct.
And you had
then
72 9 months ago, we're well over 100.
So what I'm saying, is there a way we could do something, I don't,
Force him to sell them?
where if you have habitual, after, it's a danger after a certain point, after 10 or 15 or 20, or make some big number,
You confiscate them.
and then you basically sell them
I think the cat,
in their name. They get the money, but we sell them.
I know there have been proposals in other counties for livestock, wandering livestock. Where other counties have proposed that if you name let's say livestock's been out 7 times. I'm not picking on anybody. For instance, let's say you would have a acreage and your livestock has been found, been called in 7 times to have been out. I'm just throwing
In a
7
year.
times out there. Then that is something where you can have a county ordinance that can be enforced by the court. And you could start a fining on them, where a judge, if found guilty, could fine them for that, and then you continue the next time. Now, let's all get this straight. We're not, if you put cattle on stalks and throw up an electric fence and a deer runs through the fence and all of a sudden they're out, and then you have another one a week later and something. This is habitual. We have seen these
Right.
go out. We've put them in, and the next day they're out. And we've tried to help this situation, trying to protect the citizens of this county on Highway 2 or G Avenue or Ginkgo or the people of the village of Norwich from being
How many years?
attacked.
How many years has this been going on?
3 years, 4 years?
Probably close
We
to
started
4.
about 2 years ago for the actual number, not 72, is less than 2 years. Ultimately, something's gonna get hit on Highway 2, and it's not gonna be a good situation for anybody.
If this was in one of our small towns, we provide law enforcement to, which requires a city council, and everybody knows what that requires. They would have a city ordinance against this. Unfortunately, at this point, we don't have one. Our biggest fear, and Mr. Murphy has stated that he has no insurance covering those animals. He has stated that to myself. We stated that to several other officers or deputies, excuse me. So therefore, liability issues. Where does that leave the average citizen driving down the road, or someone even from out of the county? When they hit that hog, and if they get injured or even worse.
Well, is there some kind of, because like Angie says, it's gonna be really hard to ever actually get this money back. It's never gonna
No,
happen.
we agree with that.
So what about if we do an ordinance that has a really high bar, so your normal person's never gonna get affected by this, but they're easily gonna be affected. You've documented the whole world here. Something like that, is our only real option to actually stop this or make them change something or fix their own fence?
We can't force them to sell the animals.
Right. But if we had an ordinance, is ordinance what you're saying we need?
You need to talk to the county attorney
Something.
about what our legal options are on that. But I know that I think Taylor County attempted to pass
Yeah,
a wandering, they did not pass it. And I understand, I mean,
we're not
I
trying to
grew up
come
on a farm,
against
I've chased
anything.
livestock down the
Yeah.
road. That's not at what this is aimed at. This is aimed at is what we've got for an issue going on here. And it's only gonna get worse as the spring goes on, because then you're gonna have hogs or cattle in the corn or bean fields. I think there's gonna be both around there, as well as tearing up the neighbor's yard. I mean, if it was in your yard or your yard or your yard, you want the same thing that I do. I don't want to, even a skunk in there tearing up the yard looking for grubs. But now you got a huge hog just tearing the heck out of your yard. Not a pretty sight for someone that would take care of their yard. And we do have some of those in Norwich that they care about their yard.
Plus,
Norwich
it's
has
also
about
It's traffic.
dangerous to people.
Yeah,
four different family residents, but
so what's our real options here? We need to talk to the county attorney. What's our options? We don't really want to build him a new fence, very bad.
I get it.
So we gotta,
Even $10,000 on a fence isn't gonna make a difference. Because
what if you don't shut the gate? What if we put in a brand new fence and you don't shut the gate?
we found that happen before. We've gone by and the gate's wide open.
Well, and that's what
Sometimes you forget. I have done.
Yeah.
I said, just what if you did an electric fence? But what if he doesn't turn it on?
But are they gonna have to go out and check the electric fence every
Yeah.
day? It's like, I know what you're saying, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because
I don't mind being the average farmer that has cattle out.
Yeah, you think some, yeah, definitely.
I think every deputy has done that, whether it's at 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You do it 3 times in your shift while you're working. That's a bit much.
We have other, a little more important.
We could say it on Beacon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
We could check that. Well, I don't know what we'll do. Need to talk to Carl, I guess.
yeah, we probably need to talk to Carl and see what our legal avenue is and if we need to put an ordinance in on
And make a high bar. They're gonna.
high bars so that.
I mean,
Nelson Murphy.
Yep.
Right here.
that's New York.
Oh, I'm just, yeah.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, okay, well,
He lives in Essex.
oh, he didn't live there. I thought there was some kind of a house.
But the address is Ginkgo.
That address for that is legal, yes. When it's just 29, so.
It is,
Yes, they've actually, they have paid.
Is it possible?
They paid the whole year.
Is it possible where the barn is, the fence around where the barn is?
he's got a barn in the, back of the barn, after the fence, and now it has holes in it.
But the fence around the back of the barn too. So you can't necessarily tell them, oh, keep the animal there.
We've told them.
Apparently, he doesn't care.
Numerous times a
How
day.
many times have you talked to him?
Every time we find it out, we go.
So at least 70
More than-
to 100 times.
Probably more than we talk on a weekly basis.
In-
Or juniors, college.
Pleasant.
Uh-huh.
Well, something's gotta happen. Well, then we need to talk, I'm not trying to hold us in that, but we gotta talk to Carl. I don't know, what else to do?
I mean, if you give us some teeth on a criminal action, we'll definitely cite him into court every time they're out and document it. We'll document it with the camera, we'll document it with us. You'll see the animal off of his property.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Yeah.
I hope my farm never has a file like this.
Yes.
I've been doing this 21 years, so this is the first issue that I've ever seen.
With livestock, yeah, this is not normal, not at all, we understand livestock. Well, then I guess,
Most of the time you're worried about your livestock and you.
Yeah, you're worried.
You don't want it to get out. and
Normally, you're worried
it's
about
very
getting a
upsetting when it
deer
gets out.
on a highway,
Yeah,
let alone a 400 to 500
big
pound
old,
pig.
big old sow or boar or whatever. Okay, well, then we're gonna have to try to get teeth to
Well,
it.
that and the dog, he just showed up in like the last month,
2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. It's pretty aggressive.
Is there something about aggressive dogs? You know, some kind of a policy on that?
In city ordinances, there usually is.
Cause cities would
I have
have
to
that.
review the state code on that, basically with dogs. It talks about chasing, maiming, or harassing livestock.
Yeah,
And then it also talks about making sure that they have their shots if they're off leash and their rabies tags on their collars.
what is the law if there's something destroying your property or a dog? I'm sure if it's trying to hurt you in some way, you can
You
take
have the right to
defense.
defend yourself on that.
What about destruction of property from an animal? Do you have the right to
That's a county attorney question.
take that?
He has the bar card, he can, to a degree.
I don't know the answer to that, so.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
understand what you're saying. I'm not gonna go on public
Right, that's
record and
fine.
say that it's okay or not okay.
Yeah, that's fine. What size of gun would you? No. no.
With my first rodeo.
Okay, well, we'll look into it. Any other thing you need to do, we'll have to ask him.
I think that's it.
You put together a well-documented,
yes, thanks.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you, Charles, that along with the deputies and our civil secretary there, they helped out with that, so.
very professional.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, now, here.
We're getting close to 5.
Now, that's what I was gonna say about, I meant to say that at the beginning and I forgot.
Yes,
We might need to recess here pretty
Recess.
quick because,
'Cause
I
if I-
told Jason like 10 till we would. I talked to him earlier, we would maybe recess, I think just come back after our comp meeting and come back in.
Yeah, so we have a.
You have any, you have an
I have an
E911
E911 and EMA
What time is it?
at 5:30.
5:30?
Yep,
second,
so after the comms one in here,
so we really can't recess
can we
it.
recess till after that?
Lyle?
What time is the
How long?
911 meeting gonna be over?
How long is that gonna take?
Charles, we have the,
I have the
I
agenda.
believe it's at 5:30 for the EMA budget
Right.
hearing.
And how long?
If we have a forum, it should not take very long.
Like how long is not very long? How long is not very long?
If we have a forum, would say within 15 minutes, we should have it.
Okay.
And what's the 911 be easier, isn't it? The 911,
911 is the 27th.
oh, it's not.
Yeah, it's not tonight, no, it's
It's
just.
6 o'clock.
So you wanna we'll just reset till 6 or something and see if there's 6:15 or something?
Well, what?
We're gonna have to, we have a.
We got
We
more
have a
stuff.
5 o'clock meeting here.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have more things on the agenda,
Yeah,
unless
We
we
have a
put,
5:30 meeting here possibly.
unless we put
Right,
them off
yeah.
until next week.
You have some pretty good things on the agenda still.
Yeah, I think we should just, I would make a motion to recess and then
Yeah,
come
Come
back
back.
at 6.
Okay.
So you just wanna do that right now? You wanna wait 5 minutes? We can talk about the boiler in a second. I don't have a lot. You wanna go ahead and just talk about it for a minute?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And then we'll, in a couple of minutes here, turn off. I reached out to Tucker, who talked to him for a while. And then he told me that, Craig Hill is actually the one who knows a lot about boilers, the mayor of Florinda, he can be here in a minute. Huh? And
He
I
would know
sent
more than
him,
Tucker, yeah.
yeah, and I sent him the information. And he's going over that, and I'm gonna meet with him maybe tomorrow about it or something, so I'm still not ready to do it yet. I'd say the next
Okay.
few weeks will be ready, but he knows a lot more than I know about it,
Okay.
so.
Okay, so you want
Just
to
gathering some information from Craig Hill right now, just to make sure we double check it.
table that?
So we'll just table that, I
Okay.
guess, that's what I had on it, I just want to tell you. So the planning and zoning thing, we'll talk about that for a second, that's pretty simple. Number 20, I just thought the best thing, we need to do that today. All these other boards, we just have people fill out an application, would that be better?
Yes.
I've had people call me,
That
let's
would
just
be
have
better,
them,
let's do
and
that.
let's do it next week, try to
Yep.
appoint.
Yep, good,
Okay, so let's
good
just
idea.
have them get on the county website. Where is that application thing, Corey? Is it the board of, just our generic board application? You know what I'm talking about, like just for all the boards?
For all the boards that people can apply for.
Maybe if we
Exactly,
can
somewhere.
find that, just people get online and print it or come in and ask
Just
one.
send the email.
Others of them. Yeah, it's on there somewhere, because I printed it, but if that could be popped up to the front page, it'd be nice, just always be there, because people are always trying to fill that thing out.
So this is just to.
We have the board of, JD's not here, it's a board of zoning, and I think what they do is they take agricultural land or commercial, like if you want to build a factory or something, how it's taxed, right? That's how it's taxed, I think. JD could explain that better, I don't know. No, so.
But
so we
we're
just-
we're wanting them
we
just
need
to apply
seven
like
people.
they do
Yeah,
for
like
everything.
they do for the
Instead
other
of
boards,
being-
yes.
Otherwise, are they appointed?
We
before that?
appoint them, but we
Oh,
gotta
before.
formally have them fill out an application, see who in the world wants to do it. People keep calling me. Just fill one out, we'll look at it, we'll pick. That's
Okay.
Okay, job opportunities. That's job opportunities.
So that's something maybe.
Here's board vacancies, the application to fill a board vacancy is available here. So can you have something put out, have Melissa put something out about that, right?
Just something where they can see it. Yeah, have it
They
on the
can see.
counter and have it on the website. Most people
Yeah.
print it off
For
themselves.
the zoning board.
They could fill it out, and then I think,
It's the planning and zoning commission.
And we have openings, or we have.
Yes, we have openings. Actually, yeah, Marty Mattis has been on it for a long time.
Okay.
And the current ones are Linda Meyer, Lisa Carlson, Craig Harris, and Marty Mattis.
they haven't met for, I think he said 8 or 10 years.
Yeah,
or
he said
something.
like 9 years, but Marty Mattis and Craig Harris, I know have been on there for a long time. So maybe we should just ask them if they want to continue, since they know what it's all about.
Yeah, or just,
But they haven't
Fill
been
out
out
a-
for like 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
well, just tell them to fill out a paper and stick it on there. Make sure that'll make them know they want to if they fill out the paper.
Okay.
And it'd be good
Can
to
I
have
get a
somebody know
copy of
what it
those
is.
names that are on it?
Where is that money?
I don't have it.
those right there.
Oh.
I have one of those papers. I don't know where I got it from. I need to figure out where I reprint that.
It's,
Is that on the website maybe or something? I have one
I
of them.
think you have the directory, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure yours was current when I looked at it
Yeah,
the
it
other
was on.
day. So,
Okay, well, we're 10 till. I say we recess till what time you think?
I don't know, do we,
5:30, want to do 6:15
I would
or
say
something?
Um,
So Jason can set up his meeting here.
Jason won't
Yeah.
take very long.
No, it'll be fast. So you want to try, what was that true?
Maybe we could try it in between. in
Do we have to
between.
put a time or is it going to recess? I don't
why
know.
can't you just recess till 6?
Well, we can, but
But
let's
if
say
we don't have
Jason's
to
meeting
stay
will
that
probably
long.
take 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the other team or the other meeting won't be here till 5:30.
so maybe we could
So-
fit it in by, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is this other stuff imperative that we discussed?
Maybe 5:50. I think there's some important things we gotta get
Okay,
ironed out.
okay.
So
I would like to
if
get,
that meeting starts at 5:30 at the Methodist building, then, it'll probably be done 5:45, 5:50. Yeah, it's gonna take 15.
starts where?
minutes.
it's here.
Oh, it's here?
Yeah,
I thought it was over there.
No,
That's what
we
did last-
decided to have it here because we're all gonna be here.
Let's
Well,
just do
that's fine.
5:45.
Okay.
Let's try it.
All
Okay,
right.
recess
5:45.
until
We'll push it.
5:45.
All right, I need a motion to go into recess till 5:45.
I move we recess until 5:45.
Hold on,
Second.
before we do that,
Oh, wait.
this is a question. Since we're coming together in the conference board, does that
Right.
matter? Is that out of recess, under recess? That's a weird question. I don't know the answer to. We're gonna actually be.
We're all attending that one.
So we're all sitting just the same as we are now.
But we're just members of that. board. We're
We'll
not- it's-
recess
We're
our
not
We're
running.
official
that
members
meeting.
of that one.
Right,
so
and
yeah.
we're
We'll
not,
recess our official
We
meeting.
recess to attend the assessors conference board meeting and then.
That's
then
right.
Reopen again at 5:45.
So our motion to recess to attend the conference board meeting.
Okay,
Second and that motion, all those in favor?
aye,
aye.
There we go.
okay.
Now we're in recess.
And I tried to call, Jamie Cashman the other
Do you want this?
No, it's
Remind.
Sure,
it's
give me that one.
the
Yeah.
thing that I put in.
Yeah.
Have to like, unlock it, but like. Well,
Oh, yeah, that's probably.
like behind, but it just.
Sorry.
And trying to break through.
Okay, I don't know what's the combination.
Oh, I had to do both.
Yep. You're welcome.
And then it's like go around.
Yes.
In the break
That's
room.
not, it's like, can you just look in it? And just like-
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
I can surely find it.
Yes.
And then on the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
we're not doing anything right now. We're gonna talk to the county attorney. Yeah, we'll talk to the county attorney. That's.
It was, it's been talked about quite a bit.
Haven't taken this. Mayor. He's a mayor. Oh, we have to have,
Yeah, two separate ones. I know.
be a school board member or a supervisor.
Second.
Todd seconded, okay.
I forget that. So.
All right, got that done. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Rachel.
Poison.
Okay. Well, you're both.
What?
She's the mayor. We have a hat. See the hat that says what we are. Okay, we've got a motion in a second. That works. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, sure. All right, now we need to approve the January 30th, 2023 minutes. Have we get a chance to look at those? I'll second it. Ron did it, I'll second it. Okay, we got a motion and a second on the minutes. Any other discussion? All those in favor, approve the minutes? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Jason.
Okay, yeah, so just the examining board is, this kind of just came to my attention just because, they're gonna come to expire. I don't know if in the past they've kept that up, but I kind of reached out to other counties to check. And the examining board is the board that gets the list from the Department of Revenue if there's a vacancy, and then they do the first interview process, and you guys would appoint them after that. And some of you were here when I got appointed, so you probably remember that process. Some of you aren't. Gene Ripley was one of the members, and obviously he passed away a couple years ago or something. So there's only 2 members, and they were appointed in February of 18, so they'll actually expire anyway in 24. It's a 6-year term. So each entity appoints one, and then or selects one, and then the board appoints it. So Gene Ripley was the school board's appointing. The supervisors picked Kim Barron to the mayor, Howard Killian. And so keep that in your mind. So I'm gonna just go with you guys how you want to do it. I think in the past, I don't think there was anybody that was in anymore when Peggy retired. But you're supposed to keep the board. And so I think that's a good practice to keep. And talking to other assessors, they keep their taxes to keep the appointees current and appoint new ones when it goes out, so. Whatever you guys want to do, that's up to you, whether you want to wait until next year and you can address it at the first meeting and pick somebody about them getting the second meeting. Or you might be thinking about it throughout the year, so that you can find somebody that's willing to do it. And hopefully they like to do anything, and it's a non-issue job, but. Version of this, for next year. Okay, yeah, and if something happens to me and I can't do the job or whatever, then you guys just have to find the point, the school board at that point. So, but I just want to make sure you guys are kind of aware of that and with that, where it's at, and you're thinking about that for next year. So, and then I don't know if you want me to say something about that, or you want to talk about that?
What's
On the Zoom meeting, so.
I don't care a bit, go ahead.
Yeah, last year, you guys voted to make the meetings available via Zoom. So there was no discussion about recording it, or posting it, doing anything like that. I don't care. We just need to make sure that we're all on the same page on what's happening with those. Whether you guys just want to make them available via Zoom, if you want to record them or not record them, and if you do record them, do you want to post it somewhere, or do you just want me to keep them so that if somebody asks, or I can give them to them? There's no legal thing that says it has to be Zoom, so there's nothing that says we have to do either way, but we just to make sure that we're all on the same page so that nobody's confused with what's going on.
I don't know why you need to.
Is anybody ever asked for a recording of it?
Well, we've only recorded for one time, well, 2 times, well, 1 time, and so, but no, nobody's asked, and we didn't ever go to record them, so we. Basically, the idea, I think, when we did it was during COVID, we wanted to make sure people could attend the meeting and wanted to, and Jean was maybe gonna be a part of the meeting if she could. Tonight via Zoom, so it makes it possible for board members that can't be here to do it if they want to.
No,
I don't care.
our meeting is in recess right now, and I think the whole thing's still going.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that, I think that's the case, is that the case? It's in.
I'm not really sure.
Until we adjourn, because we didn't adjourn, we recessed.
Right.
So that's what's going on right now. with
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
So right now, it will be part of the Board of Supervisors meeting, I guess, in recess, right? By the way we did today, because I didn't know, we just recessed because we gotta come back afterwards, so. So that's what's going on, but
Right, but-
future, look at this.
For future,
Yeah.
movement, just so that on the technical side of things, everything else is.
Yeah.
There's no confusion. So it doesn't matter to me, that's your guys' call, so.
We're all on public record and that, what we say, it's all this, I mean,
Right,
whether it's on a tape or it's on Zoom or be written down, so all that, you know. Makes no difference to me. I'm comfortable with what I say. That's it. One less thing you need to worry about, you say, we all on paper.
I guess I'd recommend somebody just making a motion one way or the other, and then yay and nay, and that's how I do it, but you guys are, I'm just saying. Keep them there, be available, get Zoom, just don't record. Okay.
so it'll be on Zoom for people to call in case somebody wants to call in like a member, but, he doesn't have to keep track of the video, basically is what we're doing. That's what the motion is on the table. And, okay, well, that makes sense. People can do that, and then you don't have to keep track of it, the one video. Or two videos a year. Okay, we have a motion, a second, discussion, any other discussion? All those in favor of that? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Now we're to, our opening our public hearing, so the motion to do that, we just did this on something else.
Yep.
So do I hear a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll move the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay, Ron and Judy. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, we're in public hearing. So what do we do
You
next?
just, if there's no public comment. you
No,
close.
no public comment here, you think, no public comment?
Everybody's on Zoom.
Oh, good, okay, hearing no, I need a motion to go out of public hearing.
So moved.
Second, okay, all those in favor of going out? Aye. Motion carries. Now to the budget.
Made the changes in the line item that we discussed, just salary market and things. So you guys, we got good for you guys, so it's a matter of a document.
Okay, so everybody, we all talked a lot last meeting and you got a chance to look at it. Everybody good with it? So we need to adopt the budget. So I need a motion to adopt the budget that was discussed and Jason's presented.
Yeah, you, in the past, we've done a roll call vote for this, but I don't know that you have to, it's up to you guys.
Or whatever way is fine with me, I don't care. We'll just go around the room and roll call. Yep, so do I hear a motion to adopt the budget that was discussed and now in writing?
I'll make that motion.
Kim makes a
I'll
motion,
second it.
Judy second. Okay, let's roll call that, Jason. Keep your pen smoking.
I know. we get this done, sir. Jeff Brown, yay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Greg Hill,
Yes.
Ron Peterman. Yes. Rachel Levine.
Yes.
Roger McLean. Yes. Paul Poison.
Yes.
Doug Elmore. Yes. Kenny Jackson. Yeah. Todd Mayor.
Yes.
Jacob Holmes.
Yes.
Judy Clark.
Yes.
Well, there you go. All right, so we got that done, our budget's adopted. I guess this time we're gonna adjourn. Do I hear a motion? Anything else, Jason? You good?
No, the only thing I just wanted to say, in light of last meeting, just I may have gotten passionate and maybe irritated at times. And if I didn't mean to, I don't want to offend anybody. I want to make sure we have good terms with each other, so I apologize if I rubbed anybody the wrong way. If you guys ever have questions or comments or something, I definitely want you guys to approach me and ask me about it. Obviously, there are a couple things that bothered me, and as far as I'm concerned, that's water on the bridge and behind us, I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody. But that's reciprocal, and, we just move on. Go to another.
Sounds good to me. Thanks for being the assessor. Okay, doing a good job. All right, Ron moved in a second. Ron's the mayor. Doug second. All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, guys. Yeah, bunch of happy today. Everybody nice. I'm not in this.
Oh, my goodness. That's either. I know. Oh, yeah. I don't wanna stay out.
It's hard.
Did you read? We have our. Need to read those every time.
Let's hear it.
You need to read them.
Sending that email to you because I was trying to, I sent it easier, but I just emailed you. Now, is this?
So the board has not.
No, the auditor, now the auditor.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not refusing. Because we just.
I was thinking we didn't have the access to assessors. For some reason I thought, okay, these other two have.
Yeah.
No, I was confused. I was like.
That's the problem. I have a church board,
Lot of feedback.
I have a church board meeting here, second Tuesday. And I'm the chairman of the board.
What time is that?
At 5:30. So anyway,
I have another proposition that I'll bring in.
okay, sounds good.
People can throw it out.
We just need to do something consistent.
Something nice.
That's right. Who knows?
Well, and not very. Every other.
West Central one?
Yeah, I think it's a question.
Okay.
6 p.m. It's not even, you only have to make. They told me. Yeah. To meet with the. Yeah, you can do. Yeah. Yeah.
It is one.
Okay. You are like already.
I grabbed it. Let's just zero down there for fortification.
No, okay. I'm getting there. I mean, it's kind of like being in the military, everything's like, new adventure.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Okay, so we gotta get in
I think I'm doing okay. Others may have a different opinion. From what I'm hearing from other people, I'm doing fine.
I like this debate. You know, you take it for.
No, I'm fine. I just want to.
I don't.
What'd you say? I can't tell you that right now. Because I don't think that. It's the same as last, it's the same as last. It's the same as last, 3.85 is the percentage of salary.
Okay.
It's the same as last, the levies are the same as last year, but depending on the valuation and the rollback. They'll like it. Kind of, sort of, I mean, the general basic levy is back.
Yeah. They said, it's got their sort of block.
Well, we had them frozen when we had the fire in 91, they were frozen. So we were lucky we had reserves, otherwise this might not be. But yeah, the general basic is 350, that's the max. The general sub is $3. Can't tell you for sure. The real basic has been going down last few years. And then we've got debt service for 911.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure where it is right now.
It's been a while back.
We should have.
That's why I was saying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She took that up. Oh, were you? We're down the sewer issue. Okay, we'll go ahead and hold the EMA meeting to order.
Blanchard,
Here.
Board of Supervisors,
Here.
Bradleyville. Here. Clarinda,
Here.
Point. College Springs. Essex. Here, sorry. It's not me. Northborough. Sheriff,
Yes.
Shambaugh,
Here.
Shenandoah,
Here.
and Yorktown. Here. Sorry, I teach it at school for the last.
Okay, I make a motion to approve our agenda. Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting. As well, I need a motion to approve. I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes for the last. I'll second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the last meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, need a motion now to move into our second hearing.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to move into the budget hearing. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah.
No, it's just, same as what we had presented at the meeting and was published. If you go on the back of your agenda, there is the copy that was in the paper, just like a refresher on expenditures and revenues.
So it's the same as what we had. Yes.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve. Second. You got, oh, still hearing. All right, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Move out of the hearing, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, budget approved. Okay, we'll make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the EMA budget.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the EMA budget. All those in favor, by roll call.
Blanchard,
Aye.
Board of Supervisors,
Yes.
Bradleyville. Yes. Clarinda,
Aye.
Sheriff,
Aye.
Shambaugh,
Yes.
Shenandoah,
Yes.
and Yorktown. Yes. There's 8.
You forget Essex.
That's a good hair.
Thought maybe Rachel to answer again.
Just stick it up. He's on my.
Oh,
Okay, that's it. I heard a voice, but not working.
Okay. All those in favor?
That was easy, that's exactly right, boom. You didn't have 25 items on your agenda. Yeah. Oh, original stuff. I don't know. Hi. Oh, okay, well, you tell him.
My seniors.
I know.
I'll be seeing him, but he said, yeah, he called me today, he says, now, we need to see next Tuesday, I said, you sure to take that Center Street through for all the snow, okay.
Okay, well, I know. He's on the ball about everything, sends cards for everything. and-
Yes, yeah, I get.
I know.
I always looks like it's all hand.
It's always accurate, yep.
But he does, we'll call him and say, like the other day, this lady, what, could have 50 years in preserve, yes, 80. I didn't get her. Mention it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dick, because I wouldn't know that.
No, yeah.
So I appreciate it every time he does that.
Yeah, yes. When the auditors get together once a month.
Long time too. I think a lot of them, I actually had to call them. I seek his advice recently. There was something that came with it. He called me and then he sent me a card and said, I'm sorry, he said, I didn't even stick my nose out. I always want to talk to you, don't ever feel like you're sticking your nose in anybody's business.
Got a lot of knowledge.
And I said, I appreciate it. I understand where you're coming from. This is what I'm doing. And he goes, well, I didn't you think,
I know.
and I called him today and I said, you know, you're awesome. You're around a long time.
Oh, yeah. Just a lot of- Well, I was. I know what I'm doing.
Yes. Living at the homestead, you know that.
When the new. Oh, she moved. She moved down. I didn't know that.
I didn't know until they told me here to, I saw somebody the other day about that.
Yeah.
Because we both had our knees in the same place.
Uh-huh.
I've seen her, I come and fall down and she had some trouble. I didn't know they had to redo it or what they ended up doing. And they said, well, she ended up doing the injuries and stuff. It's easier for her to get around. But everybody asked him, no, she didn't. I just never seen her anybody.
I love things. She's sitting.
Very nice.
And I knew her husband.
Very nice visit with your son. I felt bad for her because. I had to-
Oh, yeah. She was one of my great elections. Short can beer and some of them down. Over with the like. No. A lot of them. You know, Jody will start. I tried to burn. I see her on Facebook. What on the one? And I went out.
See him, you know, here and there.
Yeah, well, with the weather and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Better to stay.
Those are very unique.
My wife was, every time I'm saying, and I'm like, it's you. Yeah, yeah, mine too.
Yeah, man.
I love that I can fall apart. That's what I get to.
And somebody else on how wonderful it was.
That's 7 inches of snow.
No.
What did you explain that? These poor guys had houses.
Yeah.
And I have. I have done that. Good. From 7 and 3 days. There's a lot of people that are very great. Yeah, it's just not. Well, you have to. You don't know. It's just about. They never give me on that.
No.
He's gonna find.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, geez. That's crazy.
Good to
see you.
Bye, Roger. See you later, guys.
Did you get to visit with Craig?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I wish he'd come up here so we could hear him.
Well, we can come in next week and talk about it.
That's okay.
I thought that was good.
Yeah. He talked to Craig Hill about Siemens,
Yeah.
about the boiler. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm about to tomorrow.
Good.
We got to come out.
He's, Corey's trying a new thing. Yeah, yeah.
Then you just push
You
it
just
when you
push
want
the
to talk.
button when you, well, you just push it and it's on. Yeah,
I can hear it pretty well. It's a great thing.
That's working better.
I'd say the one in front of us.
that's fine, just stick it in there.
Thank you. I don't know.
I'll check it and see.
I thought maybe I could just get you to have a fuzzy mic stand thing with a boom pole and you just stand back there and move it around back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
That'd be kind of just above my head.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's. That one.
Get everything.
I don't know, I'm just checking, I'm checking it
Oh, yeah.
to make sure.
I don't know.
Kristen, I knew there was more. I knew there was somewhere. I know, I was trying to check, Kristen, but I might have missed some too, so, okay. There's the resolution. Yes. We're close enough, aren't we?
There isn't any rule that says we shouldn't come out of recess early, is there?
I don't think so. Let's go for it. Corey's on the ball, he's ready.
Yeah.
No, my God.
I haven't turned it back on yet. It's on now. I think that works pretty good. Okay, so we already decided on the planning and zoning.
By 8 times, we're only a couple minutes off.
Let's go for it.
This is 5:43. Okay, I think we're right about, we'll watch, and then we're off close and coming back into session, so
Make a motion of
a motion to come out of recess and go back into our meeting, our regular meeting.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we'll go right back kind of where we left off. Let me see where we are here. So we've kind of got to talk about our times for meetings, turning in agendas. We've got also on it, having some duties, clerical duties done. Because we kind of got things going there. So our times of the meetings, we talked about this at the very beginning of the year, when we set our meeting time. And did the first Tuesday in the morning and the next however many other
Next
Tuesdays.
three
in the
nights, yeah,
evening.
at
Yeah,
6 p.m.
whatever else it was. Some meetings, some months there's more.
I have a Tuesday meeting once a month, the second Tuesday at 5:30.
Okay.
I have a board meeting every second Tuesday
Okay,
at 5:30.
where is that at?
That's church.
Oh, the church.
It's church board. And I'm chair.
Okay. Well, what was the other meeting, Todd? Was there a meeting on Tuesday night, the second Tuesday or not? Was there, what was the?
No, so there's a board meeting, that's, I think, West Central. And it's every third Tuesday, but it's also every other month.
Well, it's not very
So
often.
it's not very often.
What time
but
is it?
It's at 6 p.m.
Where's it at?
I think Harlan,
That's long as well.
no,
Well, been thinking about, and I was long before my time, I know Bob Anderson told me they met Tuesdays and Thursdays. They used to meet
We
Tuesdays
did.
and Thursdays, yeah, that's what he said, he told
We
me.
did.
So
We
are there
don't
any
wanna do that.
conflicts on Thursday? The Tuesday seem to have a lot of things happening on third Tuesday. Is there any conflict on a Thursday? Versus
I have a lunch.
the Thursday thing I was thinking about.
Every second Thursday, I have a lunch in Red Oak.
There's something I was thinking about Thursdays with our turning in our agendas. If we make Tuesday at noon, the normal, turn it in, that gives the rest of the day Tuesday, then have Wednesday to post it or whatever. There would be like, the way it is right now, on Friday at noon to a Tuesday, morning meetings, like 90 some hours from the time your deadline is till the meeting, I think it'd go to like 40 some hours. So you're a lot closer to your meeting with your agenda being turned in, having people having plenty of time to put it in. Thursday, as I thought about it, made a lot of sense. And so, the beginning of the year, we did this, we did the first one, we flipped it the way it was, first meeting, whatever day it is, in the morning, and then the rest of them in the evening. That would probably work on a Thursday, and it would make our agenda turn-in time, we could do, Tuesday at noon, be the general, have it in there by then, unless it's an emergency situation. That's one option I thought of. Any other ideas? Does it conflict with anything?
yeah, so originally, and I thought about the Thursday thing as well, I thought about the Monday
Yeah,
thing as well, but I think that puts us in a crunch as far as agenda and newspaper and things like that. The other thing that I was thinking of, but I did not know you had your church meeting, but I was thinking that we could do, every other morning meeting, every other Tuesday. So the first and third Tuesday would be mornings. The second and fourth Tuesday would be evenings. And that was just trying to be, respectful of everybody, but, I do not have a problem with Thursdays. That works for me as well. And like I said, it's not about me, but it's, I did get several phone calls and a couple of emails from some people about evening meetings, and they were very, I guess I would say passionate about, they wanted the evening meetings, and I had ran on that, so, I really think they need to be, if we have meetings in the evening, they need to be at 6 p.m. And so just from people that have reached out and called and texted me, I just think I need to stick by what I said I was gonna try to get done. And, but the Thursdays, obviously doesn't bother me if I wanted to do that.
no, it doesn't matter to me either. I don't
I-
care what they do.
I think it's important that we get some consistency.
Yeah, we gotta be consistent
We have to be.
for a
yeah.
year straight, so.
Well, on February the 28th, I don't know what time we're meeting, but on March the 7th, there is no meeting, and on March 14th, we're meeting at 9:30 because of the budget.
Cause it's advertised.
Right.
Now, I got to thinking about that, and it's not very often. And I like the idea of staying on Tuesday, it's been Tuesday for years, I have no problem with that. But a Thursday would miss elections altogether, would
True.
never hit an election,
That's true.
they wouldn't have to worry about it. That's just a thought that popped in my mind when this came up. So, I don't know, every other, that seems like a nice compromise. The only thing is, they're gonna be confusing, that's my only.
Yeah,
issue with
that's
that.
my bad thing too, is I'm like,
Which week is it?
yeah, which is it?
When we did it for a year or two, or whatever it was, where we did it flip, or we did one, first was a night and the rest was a morning. That seemed everybody always knew the first one. We know the first one. It seems to be easy to remember. I don't know. I mean, that's the only concern with that. I don't, and making sure we don't hit one of our other regional boards that we can't attend. So I can come anytime, but it doesn't matter to me.
So
But
did you say the first and third? And then the
all
second
of
and
it, some
fourth?
Tuesdays are, sometimes it'd be what, 5 Tuesdays sometimes or not. So it never happened in a 5 week.
I was thinking Thursdays when we were doing.
Oh, Thursday.
First and third. The first and third, is that what you?
If you did, well, I was thinking that was for Tuesdays, but if
Okay.
you did Thursdays, I would think you wouldn't have any issues.
If we do the
You
first
would-
and third,
You could do the first as like we did before, have a first being the day meeting and the 3 night meetings.
I do what?
And have, and the
Oh, I
rest.
thought we were gonna do the
rest
first
being
and
night.
third mornings.
Well, that was, my thought on that was just because Tuesdays was
So plugged.
so plugged,
Okay.
that way we wouldn't hit the third Tuesday for that board meeting.
Like Samuel
That's why I
Street.
was thinking, but there wouldn't be
Whenever
any
he-
board meetings, I don't think, on Thursdays.
Could we
Yeah,
do the
that
first
I
and
have.
third Thursday mornings and the second and fourth Thursday nights? Kind of compromise
The,
and have 2 of each?
I would be willing to.
I'm not really against that at all. I just don't want to make it, I'm tired of all, we've jumped around so much. It's so confusing. We have to make sure whatever we do makes total sense. And this is just one outfit, but when I asked the Samuels group, when he was wanting to come present, kind of an update they did a week or two ago. I said, I think that was originally gonna be a night meeting, which is
Mhm.
last week.
Right.
And I said it'd be at 6 p.m., but that's no big deal. And then when I told him I got adjusted, he's like, that's no big deal. So that one vendor did not mind at all when it was. But,
First and third Thursday.
we,
And the second and fourth Thursday evenings. Would that work?
only fear would be confusion.
And we'd have 2 and 2.
Would there be, is there some months there's 3 Thursday? Isn't there 5 week month?
We just don't meet.
Yeah, we don't meet. Yeah, take a break.
That's a free one.
Uh,
Vacation
Free
time,
one.
everybody gets to take.
So every other month we'd have 3 in the evening, basically, if we did that in the evening also. If I'm thinking about a calendar, right, there's 5 week months. So I don't know, whatever we do, we gotta do it. So in the beginning of the year, we was fine, we just make them in the evening and do it one morning, and anybody had to be in the morning to schedule that.
I guess the first thing we need to
Yeah.
decide is February 28th.
Do you
What
have
time are we
problems?
meeting?
Like, do you have a problem if we did 1 morning meeting and 3 evening meetings?
I don't like it.
I know, but would you,
For the calendar.
for the sake of consistency?
That's kind of the
I guess,
difference.
I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
I'm just afraid that if we go up and down, it's gonna be confusing to everybody. And,
It's gonna be confusing no matter what, I think.
We
well,
got the
they're
hang of
used
that.
to having just one meeting be different, because it was always the first meeting of the month was always different.
Let me see, the 28th of Tuesday.
We always used to have them in the morning, so they were all the same.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's consistent.
That was consistency there.
Yeah.
Let's see,
That's
Thursday's the
consistency.
second. So we could meet the second. If it's
Second.
Thursday, that'd be, we'll start this next week. Right,
And you're gonna throw everything off.
We can't start
We
this
can't
until
start till
March.
after the 14th.
Yeah, so I would say we wouldn't. be
what
able
am
to
I
start-
off my days here?
We wouldn't be able to.
We've
start
got
till
February the 28th.
the
Isn't that
week
the
of-
election? That's not the election.
No.
Okay,
The week of the 13th would be the first week that we could start this new.
okay, that's
schedule.
fine. So do the 28th would just be next Tuesday evening, right? And then we have, I'm trying to look at my calendar.
Okay, so we're gonna do the February the 28th, it's gonna be at 6.
6 p.m.
Okay,
We're gonna get more confusing.
and March 7th, we're not meeting because of the election.
Well, if we started that 5th, we could just start.
But then you're gonna go back to a Tuesday on the 14th
What's?
Yeah,
oh,
because of that. budget.
because of the budget hearing.
Okay, then
So
just keep it
start
the
after
same.
that till the budget, after the budget hearing.
Yeah, I would say after the budget hearing,
So no meeting on the 7th,
no meeting,
and then the 14th is the 9:30
right,
for budget.
right.
14th, oh, I went back a month. So
So then
we'll meet the 28th.
the third, if you do it on Thursdays, the third Thursday would be an evening meeting, 6 p.m.
Which would be the 16th, 23rd. and
We don't want
30th.
the 16th though, if we're meeting on the 14th.
Yeah, no, it would be the
Okay, so
following.
Then we go to the 23rd, which is the 4th, there's a Thursday month.
There it is.
Oh, geez. Oh, that's true. They will run into ISAC. Yeah, good call. Thanks.
Monday. I don't know, I'm just thinking.
Monday makes an agenda.
Yeah. It's what, Wednesday, Thursday? Okay,
What's not, what,
Isaac meets 3 times a year, so we could adjust those 3 weeks, and that would be any wilder than what we're doing right now. The week of Isaac, there's what we meet in the spring and the fall, there's August and March.
August is the
So if
twenty-third.
we only,
August,
and
August,
January 2nd or whatever. If we-
August is Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. ISAC.
So if we adjust 2 or 3 times a year, I think the agenda turnout is gonna be so much easier on everybody if it's not a Friday at noon for a Tuesday meeting. So that's true, we might have to adjust a little bit. And I had to say, you know, with the caveat, something strange that we can't get around, like we all 3 could go to Isaac, which is.
Yeah. We could adjust. Yeah, we're up.
I think, when I talked. I think when we had one meeting. I like the idea of 1 and 3, but I think if we could show up on the website somehow. Every other week. Now, it's 2 and 2. If someone wants to make, versus that having only 1 change.
We started on the 23rd of August. If I read. We're just going to look at the schedule. That's how we always do it. If we just, yeah, we have a meeting. Tuesday, yeah. If we didn't have anything, we didn't meet. Okay. Well, I want to be real simple. I don't mind. More than all, something like that. We have to sign on Thursdays. It's Tuesday, and that's no matter if it's 81. If they start morning, nice start time. Sometimes in the morning, it's panic, and those times, emergencies, you know. That's what we can do. I'm fine. It's 9. Whatever. I just get a little push from my yes. I just try not to make it.
Did it just happen?
We did have some of those things.
This is every Tuesday night, in the morning, every Tuesday, second Tuesday in the morning.
The other problem, first Tuesday. First Tuesday. Somebody just asked about. So first and second. You could be two. We just need to decide. Of course, then that puts it on with the board, so.
The first and second. It's the first of the month you got a conference.
And so the whole one month you would accept.
This is. So do the first and second Tuesday. Everyone's messaging, third and fourth. Tuesday night.
Which one now?
First and second.
Well, except that the third one is the one that we have the board meeting at 6 p.m.
Mornings. The last two could always be your one. But that messes on. First and second.
We still have better chance with Thursdays. We were just moving on us. I still have.
And it gives a gender, everybody tell me they can't hear me. Is there any way to turn off no matter what? We're not trying not to hear.
Well, this up here says that we're muted. If you look up above. Oh, that's on. There's this.
Yes. 2, 2, 1, 2. But if we do
I would suggest we, so just do the first Thursday of the month.
Does that hurt?
Is that? That's something. I-6 coming around, we'll just.
We'll just. See you on Thursday. First Tuesday is
First Thursday.
First
Thursday, the
all rest. If there's a special meeting, some sort of deal with special situations in the hearing.
And that's starting
Started in March.
March 25th. The 23rd, right? That's the
March
first.
23rd.
And that would be a evening.
How's that a motion?
And then, this month, 5 Thursdays, we meet on 5.
This is like a math problem.
Think how proficient you'll be. Where's extra meetings?
Where's the Thursday math meeting?
Hmm.
Well, and then our turn-in time for just our general normal outside emergency situation would be. That should give most of them. Does that make sense? Okay, well, that kind of solves the time.
Yeah, so these are the complete motion. So the first Thursday of the month will be our morning meeting, 9:30 a.m. The other meetings to follow that month will be at 6 p.m. With the agenda on Thursday, with the agenda due by noon on the 6th.
Starting March.
Starting March 23rd. At the 6 p.m.
Yeah. Second that motion. Second. Wait a second. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Right. Now. Okay, next thing I kind of tied to that. On the agendas, get our agendas done. I'm gonna do this, we did this week. We did it several weeks last week, so the supervisor, it's not easy to supervise. So the other things that we want to do. So, it'd be.
I don't mind doing it, as long as we send stuff to the auditor. She can,
Will she?
she will, if she, yeah, I think she
So-
will, if she doesn't. it'd be great.
Well, then,
If
and
we
you know,
send everything to the agenda, to the.
well, that deal, I don't know what's this, lots of movement, but I'm very rarely. But this thing is, that would be the best.
I would like the auditor to do the agenda too.
So that's what I would like to.
And she said she would be getting lunch,
Yes, and that was what we discussed
Right.
last meeting.
yes, and so she would.
So
Now, but on the agenda, there's this one. There's a few little tiny changes that need to be done as long as she opens the door. With the times.
We've got the times.
No, you did it right. I'm saying when it goes back to the auditor, but she.
Yeah, I think she will.
Okay. That's because that's the question. So as long as she does that, I'm fine. So that starts in March.
I'll do it next week. That's okay.
Yeah, we just have it.
So in March, they'll start doing it. And then we'll send everything goes in, nothing. We'll set up with nothing. Okay, so that's due. You know, when that's supposed to be done, we're doing trying to get it done outside of emergencies. Okay, so then we have to kind of solve them, so we'll do that. Okay.
The communication, anybody attend the meeting?
I haven't been to meeting a couple of meetings on our website. Melissa got emails and forwarded them about our February 2nd meeting in Madison. Some of them. Did you see them?
I did not, but they were taken from that.
Okay, I didn't know if there was.
I think, did you take them?
Okay. I have email on that, and I thought. we
Yeah,
didn't even-
because Mary Ann Gibson
Yeah.
sent me a thing and then she said it disappeared.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
And then that deal with the notice and sent out the whole list, and you see. whole entire agenda. You know, it's not- I don't know if that's hopefully or not. If that all went out.
The minutes,
Well, that's, they're not, until they're voted on,
not official.
they're not official.
She said she didn't get the agenda
The agenda.
because, yeah, when I went, she sent me, I sent them to her this morning, but she was not on the list. And then there were some people that were on the list whose emails didn't work. So I had to send them out in several sections. In order to get them. And Jerry Beats didn't get them, but we figured it was something between my emails and KCSI, because when I sent it from Soup, he got it, but I sent it to Aaron and Jerry and KCSI, and none of them. But he got it, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's just two questions I had.
Yeah, I see forward you that both of you, and I have listened to training stuff with you, she needs to do. So I'll talk to David with about it, and I wanted you guys to look at it. And, I did get some other feedback from somebody that did use it it was very worth. And I did get some feedback from some people and citizens in the community saying that would be a great community time to invest in people and using it's better. I want you guys to get it to see if you want, and we can talk about it. We've got time to schedule it.
The other thing that we sent, to Melissa was about, no, we got design. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Does
let's
anybody
go.
look at that?
So who?
Who just?
Yeah. Well, I know when I went to the Veterans Affairs meeting, so with that side of the so, and I didn't know if that was something we need to follow.
So who is we are directly?
Well, hold on, make sure that somebody needs to know.
So, Shan, do you wanna, if I really get that phone number,
You want to talk to Melissa and get the.
Yeah, I will call Melissa.
just call that roof and see if it's- maybe we'll. Try to find the meeting and do it.
Yes.
Well, but since I went through. Overall pretty good, there's a couple things. Good one. First, and, the thing is, on the top, if you look at it, so I kind of went minute by minute. The date, the time, and the place isn't, basic standard, you have to. Where it happened.
She's got to do it. I don't think it ever has. I used to, but I don't think it's.
So what I did there was, I just kind of went, so there's almost no change, it's just adding, which is on the minutes I gave last time. There's kind of a header there, it's the same header generic. We looked at all these IPIB and Iowa Public Information Board, which is the auditors. And that's just, you have to start each meeting with certain things. Must, so date, time, members present. So it's just a simple little header, just to make sure we don't miss them. There it was in the courthouse. And it's with us, and you see the header there, and we just insert the time of meeting. We just had little, I just put that, and then meeting by meeting, just insert the header. The word recess. It says it's adjourned, recess. Just little things, sort of finance and you know. So basically what I want to do, I didn't take and fix every one, it's just this goes to every single meeting, it's exactly. The things that really changed, which wasn't very much. But the simple thing doesn't happen.
So these are new changes.
This is what needs,
Italics.
yeah, and well,
Or
you
what-
enter that there, you know. No matter what's still in those meetings, it's easy to find. Who makes the motion, it's just the basic, we've got to have a template. That makes the code. And that little header that we. Other than that, I think this, we're trying to get this conditions and all that, and then, clean it up some. What I want to do is either there's two ways to do this. Either take this walks through each set of minutes and tells the changes, what's in the comment center, it says what to change on each set. We can either pass the minutes with these changes, or we can work them over with these changes and then by these.
I think we're probably gonna have to do discussing minutes next. Because there's an agency opinion minutes. And so basically says that the auditor has decision. It's the AG's opinion makes sense.
We don't vote.
You accept them. That you accept them as they are, because it's an agency's opinion.
So that's, I will not pass minutes.
So this is kind of silly about the minutes. I will say, I mean, to me, as long as we have the information in here, I would think it would be easier for the audience. I mean, I would not want to write everything anybody said.
And I don't think that's the point of minutes. It's getting more information in the discussion.
But this is the information that counts, correct?
Right.
Would you say that this is the information that matters to anybody, is what we voted on? And who did?
But there's some other information like, some of the things we discussed the budget time that needed to be in this too.
So what was that? Anything that is legal, dollar and cent, that's fine. That is something we can, but discussion, you read anything, it's discussion.
I just don't want to see.
It's gonna be skewed.
And I don't think that's necessary.
So dollars and cents.
But I think we're nitpicking. I think we're really
And I think it's,
nitpicking.
well, I
Half
think
and half
it's
the
silly
time.
though to make a big war about it. I mean, to me, it's.
Basically, I think
Less
what
is
she did
more.
was, she went in and did everything that we wanted to do.
All I said is the date and time,
Now you changed some other stuff.
well, on the certain things that were not right, I did catch.
I don't want to talk.
I mean,
So I'm
I
not
would finalize and say, this is how we're gonna do it.
so
That would be the discussion.
on follow Robert's rules and all legal.
As long as we're following the template, which we are.
and we may have to have.
Like
Whatever.
an AG opinion. It's an
At the
opinion.
attorney general opinion, that's how it is.
What's happened in the last 3 years that I've been here is that there's been certain things put in minutes
Unless
And then
you
put-
forward
and then
from
put-
the urgency.
and then put forth to the public. And there's certain things that are pointed out that might look good from one side and negative for another side.
And I
That's
don't
not
wanna,
okay,
use- I don't even wanna go there, because that's
But
not,
I'm just
that's
saying that's
not what
what's-
the point is. You know, the important things in.
I agree, I agree.
Everybody wants to.
But I'm also saying that it's been obvious at times. It's made some people look bad, but then. They said to put in the other viewpoint and stuff like that. You have to say the whole thing. So that people in the public know.
And that's why the parliamentary procedure is.
And if you can't do that, if you're only gonna nitpick and put certain things in there, then that's not right. And so I think this, the rules, Roberts, whatever you would call them, think Robert's rules says right in there, if you do it this way, you're gonna avoid any biases going either way. We don't want.
I don't think we want one side.
So what-
We don't, and that's what I'm saying. And that's
No,
what
we
I'm
just want.
and that's what I'm
But we
saying.
need to have some of the things to back up. Not he said, she said, but we still need to have some.
Last
But
week,
that has happened.
some- Anyway, I don't want to talk. about this.
Yeah,
Well,
last
it,
week,
it needs to be brought to attention, because it
Last
has
week,
happened.
any number, dollars, anything, bid, whatever needs to be in there, I definitely. And then the motions, whatever is part of legal. We don't want, he said, she said. So we agree on that. Well, these were way closer, but there was a few little things in the back. So either, I mean, I'm one person, but I want to either fix like this and vote on it next week, or I want to vote on it right now and say, let's just do it.
I honestly like the ones that we went from the other counties. It was
Yeah.
clear, but.
Well, this isn't the minutes, Todd. This is just, you take
this
this,
is just the
no, this
template?
is not the minutes. You take your minutes you have, all the minutes we got sent, and you just apply, this is not the minutes. All, like, you go to January 30th, and you insert this edit, at the top, which just lays out when you have to have them. And that's it. Change the word recent. Each minutes, it has a couple things, if nothing, some of them have nothing. Just add them. It just goes through and fixes each step. That is the, go back and fix it.
I don't know. It's kind of board of supervisors, why do you need that in the whole, when you've got the page kind of board of supervisors, no one says. On this 30th day of January, 2018, I don't need to have it. It's every day, it's something.
But that's weird. Well, that is not, this up here is just a title to what I did. This, you can make this all how you want, but that is, you are repetitive in minutes. It's very repetitive. Second.
But it's all,
Yeah. And what does, so you want more information, do you want, you're worried about assigning page names and supervisors? That doesn't mean. You gotta have a date, you gotta have the people present. And you have to have,
but you didn't want the people present.
on people, I mean, it says the office. It says very clearly, you must show date, time, place, this meeting occurred, the members present, members of the board. The action. Must show the result of each vote taken. The members present.
And it all says that. It's all there. On the 30th day.
It says must show the date, time, and place.
It has it. It has it.
Well, where to take place? Not there. It says it must say what the, what time did we call these words? That's just, ooh, I'm not.
It's not in the code.
Now, this is, the code section 21.3. The Iowa code 21.3 must show the date, time, and place. That's not nitpicking, that's just a simple thing, it wasn't on purpose, it just needs to be. So. Those 6 minutes, so either make a motion to fix them like this, or have them, I think I'll be fixing this and that's not. I'm ready to be done with minutes, but it's gotta. Gotta be.
Now we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes.
Well, the minutes I gave last week, if I rewrote the 30th, I had that heading basically at the top of that. We got.
Well, I wanna finish this, cause I don't wanna
Yeah,
come
let's
back
be done
to
with
the
it.
meeting.
We're gonna come back with it, I can tell you that.
We'll bring it back if you want.
It'll be on the agenda again next week. Cause it's gonna happen.
Okay, we'll just do it.
So we want to fix or not?
To approve them.
I will.
I vote to fix them.
Well, I'll make a motion
So-
to fix them according to this right here, the way I. Each meeting.
Second.
All right. Any more discussion on? We can talk about it. All those in favor? All right, good. Let me go for it.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, got that down. So fix them, if you could please fix them this, and if you have any questions, you can holler at me. I tried to make it Okay. The claims, we got a chance to look at the claims. And everybody got to see everything, go with it. Sign everything, so the motion to approve the claim. Right? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Good point. Right, now that's it, we're to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.